We have Catherine, the Princess of Wales, returning for Commonwealth Day and St. Patrick's Day as well. Queen Mary on a couple of state visits. We have state visits from Queen Maxima, so many tiaras and jewelry and wonderful and amazing historic pieces as well. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Royal Fashion News, your place for all those who have a passion for royal fashion. And today is our March roundup of the best and worst dress list. So I did one for February. I'm doing one for March. I'm hoping to get on a better timetable now that we are in April. But I wanted to wrap up and look at all the wonderful and glorious looks of March because we have some amazing pieces and some amazing ladies to go over. And as always, we alternate between best and worst. And at the end, I share you what are my picks for the best and worst dress of the week. I also have some polls I did earlier in March to share with you. I haven't been able to be as consistent with that as I want to be, but I'm so excited to share with you some of those results as well. Those come from Substack. So if you guys love royal fashion, let's go ahead and get into it. As a reminder, this is all in good fun. So let's get on with our first choice. All right, guys. So first on the worst dress list, I do have to give it to Queen Mary of Denmark here. This was at the banquet for their state visit to France. And she's wearing this Lasse Spangenberg floral maxi skirt, a Celia Larissa embroidered shirt. She has her Gianvito Rossi pumps on. She has an Anya Heinmark clutch in pearls and her Oli Lingard gypsy earrings in gold, diamonds, and mixed stones. So this comes from Unidentified and No More. I'll try to remember to link their website down below. I just don't really like this look. For some reason, for me, it just seems a bit too casual. Now, this is not a formal state visit in terms of white tie tiaras. That's not what France does, but I just feel very underwhelmed by this. Like, the skirt is lovely, but I just don't know necessarily if the skirt goes with the shirt. We also have sort of the mixing of a lot of different materials here. We have a pearl clutch, satin shoes, and different colored stoned earrings. The skirt is very much so. For some reason, I feel like this sort of all clashes and it's almost a bit overwhelming. I think maybe the detailing on the shirt too, because you got a lot of details competing with each other. And so I think for a streamlined effect, I think I would have preferred her just to have more of a plain blouse. Might work better because the skirt is so much. I feel like sort of the details on the blouse I don't really like. And maybe a plain clutch or a satin one to go with the shoes instead of one, again, that where you have too many competing mediums, I guess you could say, in this fashion look. So I really do like her fashion overall. I think individually, all these pieces are fine and I do like them. I just don't really like them together. So I do have to put this one on the worst dress list. All right, guys, next we have Queen Maxima also on a state visit, this time to Kenya, and she is rocking a Naytan couture piece that was initially planned for King's Day in 2023. This is sort of a national holiday where they celebrate the king's birthday, but also celebrate, Dutch culture and everything. So it's quite a fun, vivacious day. I think especially because Maxima herself is very vivacious. And so I really like this look. I mean, it's a little much, but at the same time, it is very Max, but it's also not too much. Maxima works great when she has stuff that's almost too much, but it kind of works. And I think this one is definitely it. She paired it with a hat by Fabienne Delavine and shoes by Gianvito Rossi. She has some Celine sunglasses and some Lutz Camino earrings. So I just love the brightness of the color. I sort of like the feather effect. I know it's kind of weirdly placed in some ways, but I feel like the fit here is beautiful. The cape looks gorgeous. And Maxima, she is one of those royals that this style of hat suits her insanely well. She wears this so well. Catherine has worn a hat like this one or two times, and I feel like it overwhelms Catherine, whereas Maxima, it just really, really sparkles. So I just have to say, I love the look. I love the brightness of it. I love all the things. So have to give this one a big thumbs up. And when compared to the other looks on the tour, this one actually got the most points. So 48% of people who took the poll on Substack found this to be their favorite look of her 4 initial looks for Kenya. She did have one more outfit the next day, which wasn't included in the poll because I had finished it the day before. All right, guys, next we have Queen Letizia of Spain, and she is wearing the Sandro striped suit in black, and she has matching trousers, some Massimo Dutti heeled loafers, and her Carolina Herrera bag. Gold and roses Lucia 3-star earrings, which are actually very cute, but I was trying to get on the store and I couldn't totally figure it out because it's Spanish and it wasn't totally working. Anyways, all this to say, the reason this is on the worst dress list is because I generally like suits on women. I just feel like this one is leaning a little bit too much into the masculine realm. I think the reason suits work, I think, on women is that they have to be, both have that little bit of masculinity to them, but they also have to be feminine. So that's in the cut, that's in the styling and everything. And I just feel like this with sort of the mock tie and stuff, it just comes off as just way too masculine to me. I just don't particularly like that. I'm not a big fan of that sense of style. You kind of add the chunky loafers too, and it's sort of a larger fit, especially on top. So it just really looks very masculine. It looks like she literally stole her husband's blazer, which I know is impossible because he's 6'5" and I've heard like 5'7" or 5'6" or something. She's not terribly short. She looks just incredibly short compared to him. So for me, I just have to give this look a big no. I think it would work fine, but I think to soften it a bit, because I feel like it's too harsh, like a pussy bow blouse would have been better here. Something maybe a little bit more frilly. Other than that, though, this strikes me as just way too masculine, and I just have to say I do not like it. So an example of a suit done well here is Princess Madeline of Sweden, and this very sweet light blue suit she's wearing from Veronica Beard, one of her favorite brands. She is launching a new skincare line with Arweleda, and so this is, I think, gorgeous. It looks great on her. It really complements her skin tone. I feel like it has that hint of femininity to it, so it's not too masculine. The color helps with that as well. But I think the fit overall is just great here. Veronica Beard is a brand I've come to really like, partly because of Princess Madeline. I like blazers and stuff. I don't get to wear them quite as much. But I think this look is really amazing on Madeline. I think it really is very, very complimentary on her. Wishing her all the best with her skincare line. Cannot wait to try it. We will be doing a try with that at some point. But guys, again, huge thumbs up for this. And this is how a lady suit is done. All right, guys, it seems like we are sticking to the suits theme because I was looking back through my pictures, and another one we have wearing a suit that I'm not particularly fond of, I would have to say, is Queen Mathilde of the Belgians. And for me, the big issue is the weird scarf thing she has around her neck. I just don't get it. The thing is, the suit itself is so loud, the color is so bright and strong that you really almost need something a lot more muted to sort of counterbalance that. So something black maybe would have worked, a similar color blue, something to that effect. White might have been a little much, but I feel like this pattern, whatever the heck it is, it just doesn't work with this at all. It just feels very weird. I'm not sure why she's wearing it. If it's connected to the charity, then I apologize for that, but I just don't think this one particularly works in the slightest. So I do have to give this one a pretty big thumbs down. All right, guys. So next, again, continuing with the suits theme, we have a great one with Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh. She is wearing a Victoria Beckham suit. Now, I'm not totally a fan of the belt with this suit, but I think overall she looks pretty good here. I was kind of like, she was going to end up being on the worst dress list 3 times last time for February. So I was like, well, we will talk more positively about Sophie. I do like this suit. I really like the color. I remember seeing the color going, ooh, I wouldn't mind that suit. I love that periwinkle. So I have to give this one a thumbs up. I think Sansa belt would probably have been better. I feel like the belt, number one, it doesn't seem to match it sort of at all. I think it may reference a charity or something, but it also just feels like, I don't know, it kind of ages the look to have the belt on it, to be quite frank. So I don't feel like complimenting that too much. And then I just did want to give a special mention. We'll have a couple of these this time. Is Sophie in this yellow number from Beulah, London. I do really love this style. I think it looks really great on her. But I think the one thing I would wish she would do with this is that it really worked, I think, for the coronation concert for her to have those kind of frilly things at the sleeves. But I think for every day, I think it looks a little odd. I think I would prefer it if she did what Queen Mary did. Queen Mary had a burgundy velvet version of this dress and removed that little thing at the end of the sleeves. And I think that would be a smart move. I just think it sort of kind of offers too much. So that would be my thought there. But overall, I think Sophie was looking great in these 2 looks. So yeah, 2 for 1 here. I'm cheating a little bit. it's okay. All right, guys, to round up the suits section of this video, yes, I know, I realize I'm doing the same thing over and over again, but it just seems to sort of like, it kind of fell into place this way. I have to talk about Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden. I love Victoria. She is so fun. And I just feel like this suit, like, she just needs some better styling. She was really rocking it, like, initially after her wedding. But since then, it's sort of gone downhill. I understand that it's just a working thing and she's trying to be simple and she likes, I think, not being too fussy. And I so appreciate that. But at the same time, it's just like, I always feel like we get so much If we could get like a little bit better styling here, this could really elevate the suit. It's not that she looks bad in it or anything. It's just like the big chunky blue clutch that she has, the navy booties, and I'm just sorry guys, I am not a fan of booties. I'm just not. You have the chunky necklace. It's just all kind of, she just needs, like, she has a wardrobe. She just needs somebody to elevate it a little bit. And I know for her, it's part of the reason she does sort of, I think the bun effect is that she wants to be low key. She wants to not be too fussy. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, especially with the hair, with a lot of flyaways and stuff, it's kind of funny. Her gala looks, her hair looks amazing. But when she does it on her own, her hair to me always looks kind of unhealthy. And so it's like, can we figure out how to, like, yes, I know she does it because she has sort of facial dyslexia and this helps her to have the same hairstyle because sometimes she doesn't recognize herself. But at the same time, I feel like this could be done better. And I think it could look less messy because sometimes it can tend to look a little messy. I love Victoria, but I think there's a way to address this where everybody wins. Everybody wins. Moving on from suits into my favorite dresses, we have Queen Maxima of the Netherlands in this Nathan Couture dress. She is pairing it with some Gianvito Rossi pumps. She has some Tom Ford glasses and a Sophie Habsburg clutch. And I just have to say, I'm really, really liking this. I like the cut. I like the color. I'm a sucker for burgundy. I will say that every time. And I just really think this is amazing. I imagine her hat is the same designer as earlier. I think which is a Fabien Delavine. So I think it looks amazing. It looks very similar to the hat she wore before, although this one is darker. She was undertaking the state visit to Cyprus. And another piece I forgot to mention and put on the list, though, that I did really like is also this Nathan Couture floral printed dress. Yes, I'm not a fan of really loud patterns, but I think this one works sort of well because it's sort of understated. Yes, it's a lot, but at the same time, it kind of works. She also has Gianvito Rossi pumps there and a JWAHR wooden clutch. So I have to say Maxima looks fabulous here. All right, guys, now we are on to our next theme, at least for the worst dressed, and that is unfortunately the ladies of Monaco. So when it comes to the family, let's first start off with Charlotte Katsiragi at a recent Chanel fashion show in this bizarre jumpsuit ensemble, which is just, everything Chanel puts her in for the most part has been atrocious. There's only been a handful of pieces that I think kind of sort of work. Everything else is awful. This is no exception. I know a part of the thing that happens with those who are brand ambassadors as she is that you get, you know, a certain amount of things to choose or whatever. So, I mean, this might be just what they sent her. She might get to choose at least some of it, but this is atrocious. This is awful in like every conceivable way. It's overdose on tweed in the worst possible way. The only benefit I can see for her relationship with Chanel is that perhaps she gets a decent amount of Chanel bags, because for me, that would be the only way this relationship is worth it if I had it. Obviously, she maybe likes it. I don't know. But I think her relationship with Gucci was so much better than this. All right, guys, next we have Crown Princess Mette-Marit of Norway. And this is just a rather simple ensemble. I like the jacket. I like the pants. I like the blouse. I can't really see exactly what the shoes are, but I think this is simple, sweet, and just something that most women can easily replicate. Apparently, in Scandinavia, it's sort of tradition, I guess, to have clowns that go to the hospitals. That's not really an American thing. But I do like this look. I have to give it a thumbs up. It's not very special. It's not very exciting. But at the same time, it's very workable. I think a work and a look anybody and any woman can emulate. All right, next for the worst dress, we are moving over to the Monaco Rose Ball, which had a variety of fashion fails, I would say. Usually I look forward to an event like this, but I didn't really have anything I super liked. So we're going to start off with Princess Charlene, who is wearing Dolce & Gabbana. All over, her shoes are Dolce & Gabbana, the bag, the earrings. And there's nothing particularly wrong with this look. I just don't really like it. I don't really like the sort of the lace overlay. I don't like how it goes down the sleeve. It's just not, I don't think, I mean, it adds a little bit of interest and dimension, but at the same time, I just don't care for it either. I feel like it could have been better. Maybe, I really like how the bodice is constructed. I think that's pretty incredible, but I don't like the lace. I think the lace is too much. I don't really like the color. I just don't like anything about the lace. To be quite honest, I think it would look great in another thing. You know, her sleeve as well with the lace, I think would have been better. Instead of having more of a balloon sleeve, that she had a tighter fitting sleeve. That would be probably my suggestion. But yeah, I have to say this is not my favorite look for sure. So I do have to put it on the worst dress list. So guys, next for the best dressed, we have Queen Mathilde of the Belgians in this two-piece ensemble that I really like. For some reason, I am loving this gathered blouse that almost you could feel maybe has a bit of a flower effect there in the corner. I think it's really pretty. I think it looks great on her. I think it's either a pale pink or a pale lavender. The tone of it, I think, suits her skin very well. I sort of like that it's all sequins. I think it's quite beautiful. Although maybe some of my like for this outlook comes just because of the gorgeous chandeliers and them walking into this event with those in the background. It's like hard to miss how stunningly beautiful that is. It's incredible. I think she does look great though. I do like this, and so I have to give her a thumbs up. All right, guys, we are taking a little bit of a break from the Monaco Ball and looking at Crown Princess Victoria in this sort of strange ensemble. That's the only way I can put it. It's like, I think I could like it, but it's, again, it comes down to styling. She has a Marcushka de Margot tweed blazer, which isn't bad, but I just don't like the booties. I feel like the booties are catching on the pants weird, so you're kind of seeing them come through. I think booties only really work with long pants where you think they are an actual boot. That is my opinion. I am sticking to it. I rarely see booties that I'm like, oh yeah, that looks awesome. For some reason, I just generally do not like them. But the other thing I will say though, guys, about this is that if you've never had a chance to see Victoria in person, and I have a couple of times when I was at the King's Golden Jubilee back in 2023, she is sort of a joy to photograph. She's very expressive, very engaged, very animated. And so for that reason, I do have to give her a massive thumbs up. If you are a photographer ever able to capture her, she is a joy to get on film. All right, guys, next on the list is Queen Letizia of Spain for the best dress list in this absolutely fabulous kickin' skirt. I really love this skirt. It is fabulous. I love the bright red. There's this one picture in particular where she just looks stunningly beautiful. And I think it's just an amazing piece. Great combination there on her part. It goes to show that it's not really a necessarily making something super complicated. Like, this is super simple. A nice skirt, a nice blouse, and everything comes together. And I think this look is very functional, very gorgeous. I can't wait to see it again. Doesn't seem like this Adolfo Dominguez skirt is still available, but oh, she looks gorgeous in it. She also is pairing it with some Magritte pumps that are new as well. I don't know what the jumper is, but she looks beautiful. All right, guys, next we are back to the Monaco Rose Ball, and we have a Charlotte Casiraghi, again in Chanel. This is not the worst thing in the world I've seen her wear from Chanel, but it's not really the best either. It's only okay. Her hair is sort of a mess. You can really tell from the side, it just looks really messy, which I sort of get in some ways. That's somewhat her style, but I just am not really liking it here. The theme also was sunset. I don't see quite how her look complements the idea of a sunset, so I do have to give this look a thumbs down. All right, guys, next we have Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden wearing her Frida Johnston gown. I love this piece. It's gorgeous. She wore it for her 40th birthday celebrations. We don't have a ton of pictures from this particular event. It was a gala for Swedish citizens held at the palace, but we did get a peek at the dress. I think it's stunning. I think it's amazing. It's glorious, and I'm so excited to see her in it again. Although I do prefer when she wears the aquamarine Kokoshnik tiara with this one. I think that one fits it a bit better, but the Boucheron Laurel Wreath tiara isn't bad either. All right, guys, next for the worst dress list, and this one did not have to be on here, but we have a fit issue, and that is the Christian Dior HC draped pleated chiffon gown being worn by Beatrice Borromeo, who is married to Pierre Katsuragi, who is the son of Princess Caroline, and thereby the grandson of Grace Kelly. So I like the idea of this dress quite a lot, but the fit around the bodice is terrible. It feels like this was made for somebody else entirely. Like I almost got the sense as well. I thought Beatrice made an Instagram story talking about who dressed her, and I thought, is this vintage or something? It's just from the show of 2020, and I think it's a great look, really, but the fit is awful. The fit ruins the dress entirely for me because it just looks too big around the bodice. It looks like it's not designed to fit her. So I just had to do a big old no for this. But what's sort of interesting is that the theme for this event is sunset. And so she has this braided design, and what she has in her hair is the Schlumberg by Tiffany & Co. bird on a rock brooch and tourmaline and diamond that is in her hair. And so it's kind of like the bird that is on the cusp of the sunset. She has matching bird earrings from the same collection and necklace, which I'm sure all cost a very pretty penny. I mean, they were probably just borrowed for the event. But I did like sort of what she was going for here. But the dress itself, horrible fit. If she had switched up the dress or had the dress refitted or something, it might have been better. But here, it's the fit that's the issue. And if you are curious at all at the cost of these pieces, I can firmly tell you right now, guys, that I do not know. When you go to the Tiffany & Co. website, there is no price, which always means it's insanely expensive. So they don't even want the plebs to know how much it costs. So you have to go into the store, find one, and ask, and they might tell you. So anyways, just an interesting thing to note. Okay, guys, we are in the absolute final stretch here, and we have Catherine, the Princess of Wales, at the St. Patrick's Day parade. And Catherine is continuing her trend of re-wearing items from her wardrobe. So she has an Alexander McQueen coat she debuted in December 2022, of which I got a picture of at the time in Boston. We also have her Ralph Lauren boots, Kiki McGonagall earrings, Cornelia James gloves, Lock & Co hat. So this is a stunning ensemble. I actually really, really like this. It's maybe one of my favorite looks of hers from this event in quite a while. 98% on Substack loved it. 2% hated it. I don't know who those 2% of people were. How could you hate it? She looks great. Anyways, people are strange, aren't they? I think this look is fabulous. I really like the hat. I love Catherine in Fascinators. I feel like she really, really rocks the Fascinators really, really well. So have to give this one a massive thumbs up. We also have her hair here, which I forgot to mention, looks sort of like an Celtic knot. So it seems like they took a little bit of inspiration there. All right, guys, next we have Charlotte Katsuragi yet again for Chanel. She is at an event held at the Louvre in honor of the Fashion Week. She's wearing, of course, again, head to toe Chanel. Even her jewelry is Chanel. And yeah, this is not the best. I feel like the Chanel construction sort of looks kind of terrible, I have to say. And I think it's partly that she doesn't tend to have great posture, but it really looks like she's kind of sticking her stomach out, which is obviously not the thing you want to do. So this is not the best look. I sort of like the jacket, but I feel like, I don't know, and I'm not really a fan of her hair here either, but I think the dress looks super cheap, and I'm sure it was not, but it looks super cheap. So there's nothing, I think, all that great about it. I like the idea of it, but I think the construction is all wrong in my opinion. All right, guys, now we are on to the best look of the week. And for me, this one was not very hard. Now, I know many are probably expecting it to be Catherine, the Princess of Wales at the Commonwealth Service. And while I do like that look, I thought maybe the pearl necklace kind of was probably unnecessary to it. And there is one other that I think far exceeds it in terms of the look and the excitement I feel from seeing it. And that is Queen Mary on the first day of her state visit to France in this Dior skirt suit. Oh, this thing is magnificent. I absolutely love it. I 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 love it. You can actually technically get this on the Dior website if you have about $10,000 to spare, more like 8, because the skirt is 3,000 and this jacket is 5,000. But it makes sense for this event because she is having a state visit in Viva la France. Now, of course, massively criticized Meghan Markle for having a custom Dior piece for her visit to Morocco because that is a big no-no. You either wear generally outfits or designers from your own country, outfits from the host country, but that was not Dior's situation in Morocco. But anyways, for this, I think this looks absolutely fantastic. It is the Montague 30 bar jacket and it has a matching skirt. The color is sort of they call it white. It's more like a crew. And it's stunning. It's beautiful. Dior is known for having really tailored pieces, and it seems to be the go-to designer for royal women visiting France. So Queen Camilla and Queen Mathilde recently both wore Dior on their state visits. I feel like it's a sign that maybe Chanel is sort of falling out of favor. Catherine wore Chanel when she visited France several years ago, but it seems like most women are avoiding Chanel outfits. And looking at Charlotte, I can't totally blame him because I do love Dior fashion a bit better. The Chanel bags keep their value more, but Dior fashion is where it's at. Let's be honest. So I absolutely love this. It's a new look collection, which was first created in 1947 and reimagined by Maria Grazia Chiuri. And so it's just stunning. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I think Mary pulls it off well. She has Gianvito Rossi pumps. She's also wearing with this too, and a Jane Taylor hat and a mulberry bag, which is sort of an interesting addition there, a mulberry bag. But I do like it. It's the Ilsington one. So maybe when I'm in London pretty soon here, I will be on the lookout for that bag and other bits of royal fashion. So guys, when it comes to our final look of the week, I have to admit that I forgot one of the best dress in my getting everything together, which though I think is kind of sort of fine. If you were wondering, it was Queen Mary in this lovely white suit combo, 3-piece suit combo. So anyways, just a quick shout out to that. And also Queen Mary wore a tiara that hasn't been seen in 140 years during her state visit to Iceland. So that's just another little bit and piece of these whole state visits, which have been awesome. And so for this particular tiara, in case you are interested, it is considered now the Queen Caroline Amalie's gold diadem with antique gems. And so I think that is really cool, but I didn't really care for her dress. I don't have strong feelings about it. So I try to leave it to things I have strong feelings about. And so for our final worst look of the week, this one was not a problem once I really started thinking about it. Because at first I was like, no, I don't know which is the worst. But then I saw it. And you guys have actually technically seen this dress too. So it is the dress that Princess Alexandra of Hanover wore. She's the daughter of Princess Caroline, granddaughter of Grace Kelly. And she is the half-sister of Charlotte Casiraghi. And she wore this hideous, yes, it is hideous, Giambattista Valli haute couture gown. Oh, this thing is ugly. It's all sorts of ugly. I mean, I think from the neck up, kind of, sort of, like if you get rid of whatever the heck those things are that are hanging off her arms, it looks nice. There's actually a cute picture of her and her sister on the floor at the event because apparently the heels were starting to get a little bit difficult. So I thought that was super cute. But this is ugly. I don't know why you would pick this 80s reject from hell to wear. It's like, she's so cute. Wear something better. Not only do we have this huge poof skirt, we have flowers, we have, I don't know, whatever the heck the stuff is on the torso area. We got the things on the arms. Like, it all is not working. Like, I feel like we need a fashion intervention going, please stop wearing something like this. It's not pretty. And I think she's just so cute. She's pretty young still. She's still in her early 20s. But oh, Alexandra, that dress should be burned. I'm so sorry, but that dress does you no favors. Does not look good at all. You just look weird. You just look weird for choosing it, to be quite honest. So guys, that is going to have to be my biggest thumbs down of the month of March. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Was my choice for worst yours? or my best choice yours? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know what you think of the best and worst dress of the month. I would love to get your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Bye.